I'm Paul. I'm a sales director here at the Student Room. I've been working here at the Student Room for 6 years, and prior to taking over the role of sales director, I was the head of programmatic here. So if any of you want a long, deep, very nerdy conversation around data, attribution, reporting, yeah, I'm a hit at parties. So can definitely talk through that with you. Prior to working here at the Student Room, I worked agency side at Penna and was a client partner within their higher education division.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm Commercial Ops Director here at the Student Room. I've been with the Student Room for nearly 2 years. Prior to this role, I was Head of Client Services here. And before joining the Student Room, I worked agency side in automotive marketing. I was working for some big brands, so Bentley, Rolls-Royce and Suzuki being some of them. Anyway, let's start off with a little bit of history. So how did the UniGuide become part of our story? I'm sure you're all well aware of Which University. That was set up by the Which Group in 2016. Its mission was to help students make informed decisions about higher education. Which University was a really great site, pure of purpose, and beloved by students, parents, teachers, and us at TSR, so much so that we'd partnered with Which in the past. So fast forward to the tail end of 2019, we heard from Which that under their new CEO, they were looking into their portfolio and decided that Which University was no longer going to be a core focus for them. So we knew we had to act. There would be a huge hole for students if we let this opportunity pass us by. So we started to talk to Which about how we could take over their site. In February 2020, Which University found itself a new home within the Student Room Group, rebranded as the UniGuide. The Student Room Group already runs the UK's largest student platform, so a powerful direct response tool was a natural addition to our thriving digital portfolio. UniGuide retained all of Which University's search tools with additional enhanced usability features, all fully tested and optimized by the Student Room Group. So where does the UniGuide sit within our other products here? Our product offering is broken down into 4 pillars. Product offering is broken down into 4 pillars. Attract, so think content and brand partnerships, allowing you to build your brand awareness on our platform used by millions of students. Engage, so for example, our official rep tool, allowing you to communicate with those students, making decisions about your institution in a one-to-one or a one-to-many capacity. Convert, this is where the UniGuide comes in and what we're here to talk to you about and how we can help send you high intent traffic and low funnel leads.
Yeah, so the reason why we see our product pillars operating like this is because each element enhances the other. Interestingly, what we've seen from our clients who work with us on the UniGuide in that convert stage is that the more activity they do within the attraction part, which is building their brand on the Student Room, and the engagement part, which is actively speaking to students in a one-to-one capacity, has a positive impact on their conversion rates. So what we've seen is that institutions who do that full cycle from brand through to convert, they outperform their peers on the UniGuide through that enhanced engagement.
And the last part is understand. So wrapped around everything is understand, which is our TSR Insight suite of off-the-shelf products, harnessing our huge engaged audience and our first-party data to get you the answers that you need and some that you didn't know you needed.
Great. So the most important part of today is how students use the UniGuide and how it can support you, our partners. However, I just want to sort of take a bit of time to call out a couple of core stats and a couple of core benefits before we move on into the real meat of this presentation and how people actually physically use the site. So we have 2.65 million users a year, and they are actively making high intent course and university decisions and searches. We send our partners high volumes of high intent traffic and low funnel lead conversions. And quite importantly, given the strain placed on budgets at present, it's really great for us and for you to have an offering that removes risk. So we've definitely based on a cost per click or a cost per lead basis which is guaranteeing you success. So there's some of the core numbers and some of the core stats. But yeah, now let's see how the site works in practice, and I'm going to try and keep up with this video. Okay, so a user comes on the site, and more often than not, they'll search by course. So we look for criminology, lots of listings. You'll see some of the buttons that start to appear. So I want to look at criminology at Bristol. Lots of course data about the course, how long the course is, tuition fee data. Go back, and let's look at Durham. So once again, what are my average grades I need? I need 2 A's and a B. More information about the course, what the modules are within that course, tuition fees, more information about the institution, where the campus is, what students say. Now I want to find out more about Durham. More information again, some of those vital statistics, crucially, what students think, so real reviews on everything from finances to infrastructure to the course data itself, career prospects. Now, I really like the look of Durham. Sounds great. What are all the courses I could be doing there? So within this view, you can see all the courses available at Durham, and including some really key information around UCAS points, student satisfaction, and average graduate salary. There are a lot of courses at Durham. So other than that, what else can I do on the UniGuide? Lots of great content, really useful information for young people, but also a really good A-level explorer. So I'm studying maths, I am studying chemistry, and so I'm studying biology. What can I do to get results? And it starts using a matching tool. So based on what I'm currently doing, here it starts a really great example. Lots of really rich, really important information around sort of studying medicine, from student feedback, your career prospects, what the course is like. Once again, average graduate salary. And then, yeah, medicine, it's the right course for me. Where can I do it? As I come through, these are all the institutions that are tagged on the UniGuide that said you can do medicine here. As you go through, you'll see sort of how some of the buttons work. And all that important course meta and course information is often held in that first part of the search. Other than searching by course, I also search by city. So I'm interested in Birmingham. It starts pulling up all the institutions in Birmingham and some of the courses that are available there. I am interested in chemical engineering at the University of Birmingham. I need 3 A's. Born about the course, it's a 4-year course. Lots of course data, lots of module data, once again, tuition fees. And then I could shortlist it. So yeah, do you know what, chemical engineering at Birmingham, that's something for me. I'll shortlist that. At the top, you'll see that I've shortlisted 2 courses. So let's go take a look at my shortlist. So quite diverse. I've looked at, I'm interested in doing Aston, politics and English language, and Birmingham, chemical engineering. Interestingly, I did genuinely look to do physics and then international politics, and I realized international politics is definitely more my bag than physics. So looking at the courses, like average graduate salary, 28.5 grand at Birmingham, that sounds great. I'll remove Aston from my shortlist, and Birmingham I think is the one I'm going to focus on. So that is the user guide, the UniGuide from a user perspective.
Thanks, Paul. I'm quite impressed that you managed to keep up with that. So you've seen the sites, and let's find out what students really think of the UniGuide. So I'll read you some verbatim that we've had from students. So student feedback on site just this month. This is the best university guide ever. I mean, I've been looking for websites to get more information on where to study or what course to take, but never got the help I wanted compared with what I'm receiving here. And we ran a student user testing session in June to find out, as part of our optimization, but also found out some great information from students. So one of them saying, this is really nice, it's really concise. You know, when you condense those revision notes, this is exactly what I'd review it as, really nice. 10 out of 10. I love that website. I'm going to be using that now when I shortlist. It's got everything I need, really concise. And then the last one, that's really nice. The popular A-level studies, you can see how it correlates the degree in the A-level. I actually haven't seen that before on other websites. So for me, that's a really nice touch.
Yeah, thanks for that, Amii. We're super fortunate actually to be able to, well, pre-lockdown, we have a user testing lab. We get students in from local colleges or around the country to come in and help us make both the student room and the UniGuide better. What we've had to do so obviously since lockdown is invest quite a bit into optimization technologies. So we can get lots of students from all over the world telling us in real time exactly what they think about our platform and how we can help them better. And from a personal perspective, it's so satisfying to hear some absolutely lovely feedback such as that. So we've heard about it from a student perspective and see how they get massive value from the UniGuide and how it works. But yeah, how does it work for you, our partners? So come on the site, search by university. So I'm really interested in studying in Manchester. Make that search, see Manchester Metropolitan, I can see Manchester University. And you see these high impact buttons throughout the search. So Manchester, click on, find out a lot more about the institution, as you saw from the user perspective, but we'll always have these persistent buttons at the top, which enable you to do lots of features from go to the website, get prospectus, open days, or as we're doing here, request information. I fill in my details. Here's my email address. Let you know what year I'm interested in studying. Opt into newsletters of the student group, obviously, and fill out some GDPR compliance, and then that lead is passed on to you. So that was done through a video. I'll kind of try and break some of those elements down. So as you saw at first, the user decided to make a search around Manchester and select it's going to the University of Manchester's profile. One of the things that eagle-eyed amongst you might have noticed is the buttons here are different to what you saw in the video. And that is linked back to what I was saying earlier around the optimization tests that we do. We're continuously changing everything on the site to ensure that what we're able to do is send you the highest volume of quality traffic. So that could be anything from changes to color palettes, to position, to font type. But what you find throughout all of these is that those buttons are persistent throughout. So they're always in view and always there accessible for the user to allow them to get very quickly to your site or send you some compelling information. So this is what it looks like from a university profile perspective. If someone chooses to search for a course, so this is a really great example. I'm interested in physics and I know I want to be in the Greater Manchester area. So this is what a search result could look like. And what you can see here is quite a really nice comparison between someone who has the product enabled and someone who doesn't. So University of Salford don't. There's some really useful course information, so it's still really useful for students. And as an organization, we're student first and we want to be able to give that. But then you look at the comparison with Manchester, once again, really useful course information, but it's optimized to be able to get that user through to their site as quickly as possible. If I decide to go deeper and I want to find a lot more about that course, so once again, I've clicked on physics, I can see lots of information. We went through that in the student video around graduate salaries, average grades required, student satisfaction, student comments. But yeah, once again, throughout that are these persistent buttons, continuously they're optimized to send that traffic through to your site and get you those high impact leads.
So what do we capture? We've got 4 main buttons which trigger an action. So request information launches a form which allows the student to submit their name, email address, mobile number, and postcode alongside posing a question to your institution. So this could be at a course level or an institution level. Then get prospectus. That launches a form which allows the student to complete the same details minus that inquiry. And we are capturing email address as opposed to an address so that you can fulfill this prospectus digitally.
Yeah, as Amii said, we don't capture addresses here. We know sustainability is massively high on the agenda of our audience's agenda. and we really want to encourage the use of digital prospectuses. Interestingly, I was on the Heist Award judging panel, and this came up as what I could only describe as a relatively heated debate about sort of are print prospectuses anachronistic now? Are they relatively antiquated? I think it's a debate for another time, and yeah, it almost ended up in a bit of a tussle. But it was a really good one to have. But from our perspective, from the student room group, we actively want to encourage the use of digital prospectuses.
Visit website, so that will launch your site and sends these high intent students straight to you. And Open Days, or Apply Now in Clearing, launches a form that allows the student to select the open days you've advertised and book themselves a slot. Worth noting that if you do have your own form, we can change these buttons into a click to your form for you. And at this point, it's worth mentioning how the information comes through to you. So in real time, the leads come through to us for manual verification, which prevents duplicates and fake inquiries being counted as part of your balance. And then once verified, the email goes straight across to the email address of your choice with the student inquiry. We're also able to set up a secure file, which is updated 4 times a day with your leads for direct import into your CRM system.
Thanks, Amy. So now we know how the product works. Let's talk about how it's priced. So we work on a guaranteed cost per lead or a cost per click model, so ensuring your budget is fully maximized. It's really important to note at this point that we do not charge for profiles on the UniGuide. The reason being is, once again, we're a student-first organization, and we want to ensure that the user experience within the UniGuide is incredibly consistent for young people who are seeking us out for help. So we don't want one university to have a massively different user experience to a different university simply because they're paying us to have it. Doesn't seem the right thing to do. So what that means is that every penny you spend with us on the UniGuide is there to drive those high intent leads and that high intent traffic through to you. Hacks are bought in £10,000 increments, and how we work is on a drawdown model. That drawdown model is £3 cost per click or £15 cost per form completion. So every time someone clicks to visit your website, £3 is deducted. And every time someone to send you a information request, what we'll also do is your account management team will work closely with you to create a bespoke ROI calculator. What this does is takes into account that every institution is different, and different sizes and different profile sizes, different number of course views, etc. So we'll take all of it and look at our average at that given time. Now those conversion rates change over time because we're continuously working to optimize the size of your audience and then create that bespoke ROI calculator. Yeah, and what that gives you is a very good idea of how long your lead pack would last, helping you to be much more effective with your budgeting and knowing, is this going to be something that lasts for a year or 3 months? So before we go on to any questions, I just want to pass back to Amy to share a couple of really lovely success stories.
Thank you, Paul. So we're here to support our students and you, our partners, and we've heard from the young people that we support on how they love the UniGuide. Here are a couple of really nice quotes from our partners who've seen great success from us. So over the summer, several universities trialled our lead gen button on the UniGuide. The result was high quality applicant leads in every category. So here are some of the results. University 1, a small northern university that specialises in teacher training, the 7-week campaign outperformed our traffic and lead generation estimates by 39%. University 2, a northern university with a Silver TEF award. The trial delivered 41 website leads and 41 website visits and 10 leads, including 8 prospectus requests in under 3 weeks. And University 3, a northern Russell Group university, in 10 weeks, this university had 478 click-throughs to their website, 59 form leads, including 42 prospectus requests and 15 information requests. So what do our clients say? We ran a trial with the UniGuide on behalf of our client Dundee throughout June. The results are great, delivering us high quality traffic and leads. That was from Odette at Penna and from Deborah at Edge Hill. We ran a trial with the UniGuide in June and we saw positive results and inquiries came through. We're now hoping to continue to work with the student room on the UniGuide for 2022 entry.
Thanks, Amy. Before we move back onto questions, I've had a note come through that I think our sound dropped off briefly when talking about this slide. So I won't try to go through it all again. For some of you, you might have heard it and won't want to go through it again. So I'll go through relatively quickly and just pick out the salient points. So yeah, so we talked about how the price works. This is more about how it's priced. So we work on a guaranteed cost per lead or a cost per click model, ensuring that your budget is fully maximized. At this point, important to mention that we do not charge for profiles. The reason being is we want to have a consistent user experience for all of our students. We're a student-first organization, and what we want to ensure is that if someone is looking at University X and University Y, there isn't this massive disconnect between that user experience simply because University Y is spending with us. To us, it's not seem the right thing to do. But what that means is that every penny you spend with us is designed to drive you high intent leads and high quality traffic. So how it works in practice is that packs are bought in £10,000 increments, and then we do a drawdown of £3 cost per click or £15 cost per form completion. So in practice, someone clicks on to visit your website, £3 is deducted. Every time someone completes a form and that data is sent to you, manually verified by Amy's team, be it for get prospectus, open day, or to request information, that is £15 deducted from your lead pack. In addition, when you work with us, your account management team will work with you to create a bespoke ROI calculator. So this takes into account the size of your institution, your course views, all the information that we can see on the back end about how many people are actually physically viewing your content, and we use our average conversion rates at the time. These conversion rates will go up, they'll go down depending on different optimizations we're doing. We'll take the average conversion rates at that date and the size of your audience and be able to give you a really solid estimate of how much traffic we'll be sending you and how many leads we'll be sending you. Now, other than the certainty of what you'll be receiving, it also is really useful for effective budgeting. So you'll know whether your lead pack on the UniGuide will last for a year or will it last for 3 months, and then therefore you can budget accordingly. So hopefully that was everything, and hopefully you didn't cut out. This is where we've gone back to these amazing quotes. But what it might be really useful to do now is just stop and ask if you have any questions. And you can make them as pokey or as challenging as you like. Okay, it doesn't seem like there are any questions. So what we'll do after this is that we'll have the presentation sent out to you. And if you would like to get involved with the UniGuide, please do speak to your account management team at the Student Room. If you have any questions for myself or Amy, all our contact details will be within that email, and please do drop them across. Currently, we're working on lots of elements towards the Student Room's 5-year strategy. So it'd be lovely to speak to you guys, get more of your feedback on how you feel about the Student Room, the UniGuide, and where we can improve, because the insight that we get from you, our partners, is super, super valuable to making us better for you and better for our students.
If we see any questions come after the Q&A as well, we can always distribute all of those answers with our...
Hi guys, we do actually have a question in. I don't know if you can see that there, but from John.
Thanks, Marissa. So this is a question from John Montgomery. So how do you acquire your traffic? It's a couple of elements. So one, when we took on running of the UniGuide from Which, there's a redirect. So we naturally picked up a lot of traffic from people who were originally searching for Which University, which is redirecting through the UniGuide. But also, much like what we do on the Student Room ourselves, it's really authentic, authoritative content, so it ranks nicely in Google. So Google likes us quite a lot. But also we have an internal marketing team looking to drive traffic either organically through creating content or through paid marketing channels. But most of the traffic at the moment comes through people organically finding the site. Thanks for that, John. So I've got a question here from Nicole Mulholland. Says £10,000 costs, but even for the Russell Group Uni, the cost was $2,319. Why the larger initial cost? I don't know if I'm misreading this, Nicole, but I don't fully understand the question.
So I think you're talking about in 10 weeks. That's what they spent. So
right.
The £10,000 cost is a budget essentially for the year. So you will pay that across the year, and then we draw down that cost per click and cost per lead throughout the year. So you wouldn't be outlaying £10,000 and then not see that back. You'll spend that across the year, or if you would spend that sooner, we'd let you know when you were originally booking how long that would actually last you, like Paul mentioned with the ROI calculator. Does that make sense?
Glad you're here. Sorry about that, Nicole, but does that answer your question?
Lovely, thank you. Do you have any other questions?
Perfect. We've got a couple more coming through. What would happen to any unused balance if we aren't getting many leads? This is from Molly Riley. Yeah, great question. We're here to support you are partners. So if we aren't able to send you those leads, that's nothing that you should be penalized for. So the ideal situation is that we just continue rolling that into a year, but we will try to inform you as the campaign or as the lead pack is progressing, but ideally upfront through our ROI calculator how long everything should last. But if there's any unused balance at the end of the year, we'll just keep on rolling on until it is used.
It won't expire.
So it won't expire, exactly.
I think also answers Claire's question here too. So Claire's saying the same thing. Would it roll over? And yes,
it would. Great, thanks so much for those questions. Any more questions? So this one from Shea. As more universities are moving their courses online to get around COVID, how will this be considered in the search tool? In the short term, whilst we're still in the thick of the pandemic, university location will become less important and the tech course quality will be more important. It's a really good question. It's a really good question, which Shea, I fortunately do not have an answer for, but what we will do is pass that on to our tech team and our student focused teams. I think it's a really interesting thing. It kind of comes down to where we get our data sources as well.
So I suppose it's worth mentioning that the way that the search algorithm works is considering a number of different data sources. So Paul mentioned that our profiles are student first. So so predominantly people are searching for courses as opposed to searching for locations. So searching for courses, and then those courses are ranked based on PISA data, DLHE data, Leo, NSS. There's like so many different pieces of information that go into what comprises the course information, the university information, and also therefore the search algorithm, that it isn't entirely focused around location. But I do think there's probably something we could be doing around UX to consider that in the future. So that's a great point. Don't have a direct answer for you now, but really, really great point. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shea. We've got a question here, which is, if there are duplicate leads, will they still be deducted from the budget allocation?
So the duplicate leads would be that they submitted the same request in the same day. So if they were submitting the same request exactly in the same day, so we knew that it was an actual duplicate, then no. If they submitted that request a number of days apart, that would come across to you. And the reason for that is that to make sure that student does get that follow-up. Maybe they are still waiting for their follow-up. Maybe their request has changed ever so slightly. But if they request the same, if they submit the same information in the same day, then no, they won't go across to your institution and they won't be counted.
And that's all part of the manual verification that's done by Amy and her team. Great. Do we have any other questions? Awesome. Well, if not, well, once again, thanks so much for joining us. It's been amazing to sort of be able to sort of present the UniGuide to you all. As I said, Marissa will be in touch, send through this video. Our contact details will be in there, and we'd love to speak to all of you, whether it be about the UniGuide or the student room in general, and how we could be supporting you better. But if the UniGuide is something you're interested in, please do get in touch with your account managers. And as we said, they can start creating that ROI calculator for you to show what we'd expect you'd receive from the UniGuide. So yeah, thanks so much. And I'm going to do an awkward Zoom wave, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.